has been running all along, moving through the underground of promise, carrying the weight of what belongs to every life that dared to trust the planting, to every hand that held the seed in faith. The rivers of His blessing have been flowing through every corridor of time and space. I may not see the current on the surface, I may not hear the water through the stone, but what the Lord has sent into this season is moving toward me. I am not alone, for rivers do not stop because they travel beneath the ground and out of human sight. They find their way to every thirsty valley, and they arrive with fullness and with light. Rivers of blessing already flowing, moving through the underground of grace. Rivers of blessing already flowing, finding every field, finding every place. I receive what God has set in motion. I receive the overflow, He says. Rivers of blessing already flowing, and they are flowing toward me without end. The overflow of heaven is not silent, it moves with purpose through the ancient ways. And what the Lord has spoken over my provision is carried on that current all my days. Divine provision does not need announcement, it does not wait for circumstances to agree. The rivers of the blessing of the Lord are already moving, already aimed at me. So I will open wide the gates of receiving, and I will let the current do its work. For the God who sends the rivers to the valleys has sent a river flowing toward this earth. The financial miracle is in the current, the abundance is already on its way. And what the Lord has set in motion toward this season, no power in this world can turn away. Rivers of blessing already flowing, moving through the underground of grace. Rivers of blessing already flowing, finding every field, finding every place. I receive what God has set in motion. I receive the overflow, He says. Rivers of blessing already flowing, and they are flowing toward me without end. He makes a way in the wilderness, He sends rivers in the desert place. He does not wait for the natural to align before He moves in supernatural grace. Let the rivers flow, let the rivers flow from the throne of the God of all supply. Let the rivers of His blessing find this valley, and let the overflow of heaven pass me by. Not by And I will stand beside the river of His favor, and I will let the current lift my hands. For the God who carved the riverbeds of heaven has carved a path of blessing through this land. The season of the overflow is turning. The surface of the river is in view, and what was moving through the underground of promise is breaking into morning, breaking through. Rivers of blessing already flowing, moving through the underground of grace. Rivers of blessing already flowing, finding every field, finding every place. I receive what God has set in motion. I receive the overflow He sends. Rivers of blessing already flowing, and they are flowing toward me without end. And I will stand beside the river of His favor, and I will let the current lift my hands. I was not made for barely getting by. I was not formed for living on the edge. The God who made the eagle for the sky has placed abundance in my portion and my pledge. He did not design the fields to grow on grain. He did not make the vine to give one drop. He set the seasons in their full provision, and His blessing for His people does not stop. The Lord my God is not a God of shortage. He is not the God of just enough to share. He is the God of pressed down, shaken over, running over past the edges everywhere. And what He is by nature He will give me, for He cannot provide against His name. The God who is abundance gives abundantly, my portion in His covenant is the same. Abundance is my portion in the Lord. Abundance is the covenant reward, not because of what my hands have offered, but because of who my God has always been. Abundance is my portion in the Lord. Every storehouse open, every blessing poured. I receive the fullness of His favor. Abundance is my portion, I am His. The fields that God prepares for those who trust Him are not fields of measure, they are fields of more. He sets a table in the open country, with more than what the asking came in for. And I have brought my asking to His altar, not with hesitation, but with faith held high. For the God who owns the cattle on 1,000 hills has more than enough provision for my life. Supernatural favor is my daily portion. Divine provision is the air I breathe. Every morning brings the evidence of blessing from a God who gives far more than I receive. So I will not diminish what He's given by treating it as less than what He said. Abundance is my portion in the covenant, and I will live inside that truth instead. Abundance is my portion in the Lord. Abundance is the covenant reward. Not because of what my hands have offered, but because of who my God has always been. Abundance is my portion in the Lord. Every storehouse open, every blessing poured. I receive the fullness of His favor. Abundance is my portion, I am His. He owns every field and every river. He holds every harvest in His hand, and He has said that those who trust His covenant will prosper in the promised land. Not the land of someday and of maybe, but the land of yes and of today. Abundance is my portion by His promise, and I receive it now without delay. Abundance is my portion in the Lord. Abundance is the covenant reward. Not because of what my hands have offered, but because of who my God has always been. Abundance is my portion in the Lord. Every storehouse opened, every blessing poured. I receive the fullness of His favor. Abundance is my portion, I am His. And I will speak this over every morning before the sun has taken up its place. Abundance is my portion in the covenant. Abundance flows to me through boundless grace. The financial miracle is not an outlier. It is the natural expression of His name. The God who is abundant gives abundance, and my portion in His blessing is the same. Abundance is my portion in the Lord. Abundance is the covenant reward. This is the covenant reward. Not because of what my hands have offered, but because of who my God has always been. Abundance is my portion in the Lord. Every storehouse open, every blessing poured. I receive the fullness of His favor.
a key that no man carries, and a door that no hand shuts once he has opened it. The God who holds the keys of David has placed my name upon the threshold and has lit the path that leads to every open doorway that belongs to me by covenant and grace. And I will walk with confidence toward the morning, for He has gone before me to prepare the place. He opens rivers in high places and fountains in the middle of the valley floor. He makes the wilderness a standing water and turns the dry ground into something more. So every door that stands before this season is held within the hand that holds the key. And what the Lord has opened for His servant, no power in this world can shut on me. Every door you open, no man shuts. Every blessing you release, no hand cuts. Every path you lay before my feet leads to the abundance you complete. Open doors, open heavens, open fields of overflow. Every door you open, no man shuts, and I will walk through what you show. The God of breakthrough is not tired. He is not slow to open what He promised to provide. He is not held back by the natural, for supernatural favor moves on the inside. Of every wall that seems to block the blessing, of every gate that seems too strong to move, for He who parted waters for His people has more than enough power left to prove. So I will not stand outside the doorway, measuring the gap between my faith and what I see. For the God who opens doors in ancient places is opening a door right now for me. The financial miracle behind the threshold is not beyond the reach of what He wills. And every door of breakthrough and provision is opening according to His skills. Every door you open, no man shuts. Every blessing you release, no hand cuts. Every path you lay before my feet leads to the abundance you complete. Open doors, open heavens, open fields of overflow. Every door you open, no man shuts, and I will walk through what you show. I will not knock on doors that you have not appointed. I will not force what only your hand can swing wide. I will stand before the door that bears my name in heaven and trust the one who holds the key inside. For you have set before me an open door, and no one has the power to shut what you have opened. I walk in the favor of the Lord who goes before, and every breakthrough blessing is already spoken. Every door you open, no man shuts. Every blessing you release, no hand cuts. Every path you lay before my feet leads to the abundance you complete. Open doors, open heavens, open fields of overflow. Every door you open, no man shuts, and I will walk through what you show. And I will walk through every open doorway with my hands extended and my trust declared. For the God who set the door before this season has already walked the room beyond and prepared. The table of abundance in the presence of every circumstance that said I could not go. And the door is open wide, and I am walking into everything that God has said I'd know. Every door you open, no man shuts. Every blessing you release, no hand cuts. Every path you lay before my feet leads to the abundance you complete. Open doors, open heavens, open fields of overflow. Every door you open, no man shuts. And I will walk through what you show. Every door, open wide, no man shuts. There is no shortage in the house of heaven. There is no ceiling on what God can give. The storehouses of the Lord are never empty, and abundance is the way He calls us to live. His supply does not diminish with the asking. His rivers do not lower in the drought. For the source of all provision is eternal, and eternity does not run out. I have seen the math of man fall short of miracle. I have watched the natural contradict the need, but the God who multiplied the loaves and fishes is not limited to what the natural concedes. He works within the margins of the impossible. He fills the places reason cannot reach, and the supply that God has set aside for this season is beyond what calculations can teach. God's supply exceeds every measure. God's provision overflows the frame. Every need I bring to His great altar is answered far beyond what words can name. He is more than enough, more than enough, more than the measure of what I thought I'd need. God's supply exceeds every measure, and that supply is flowing now to me. The widow's oil did not obey the natural. It kept on flowing past what jars could hold, and the miracle was not the oil's abundance. It was the God behind the overflow untold. And I am standing with my vessels open before the same God who filled her jars that day. The supernatural supply behind my season will not be limited by what the natural says. For God's supply exceeds the need that prompted it. His blessing overflows the boundary of the ask, and what He gives in answer to the trusting is always more abundant than the task. So I will not reduce my expectation to fit the size of what the natural provides. For the God who gives exceeds the giving, and His supply runs broader than all tides. God's supply exceeds every measure. God's provision overflows the frame. Every need I bring to His great altar is answered far beyond what words can name. He's more than enough, more than enough, more than the measure of what I thought I'd need. God's supply exceeds every measure, and that supply is flowing now to me. More than enough for the day I am standing in, more than enough for the road still ahead, more than enough for the seed and the harvest, more than enough every promise He has said. Jehovah Jireh, your supply is immeasurable. Your covenant of blessing has no end, and what you give exceeds what I can carry. So you give me strength to carry what you send. God's supply exceeds every measure. God's provision overflows the frame. Every need I bring to His great altar is answered far beyond what words can name. He is more than enough, more than enough, more than the measure of what I thought I'd need. God's supply exceeds every measure, and that supply is flowing now to me. So I release the weight of calculated worry, and I receive the peace of trusting in His name. For the God who supply exceeds every measure is the God who walks beside me all the same. The financial miracle is not beyond His giving. No number falls outside His covenant care, and what He has prepared for those who trust Him is more than what this season could compare. God's supply exceeds every measure. God's provision overflows the frame.
I have stood here longer than I planned to stand. I have held this trust longer than I thought I could, but I have not moved from the ground of His covenant, and I will not move, for this ground is good. I have not traded faith for calculation. I have not sold my trust for something fast.
For the God who called me to this place of waiting is the God whose word and covenant will last. The anchor does not move because the storm is long. The roots do not release because the drought extends. And I have sent my anchor into the covenant, and my roots into the word that never ends. Jehovah Jireh, you have held me in this season, not by force, but by the weight of what you are. And I remain in the trust that I began with, for your faithfulness has never yet been far. I have trusted and I will not move. I have planted and I will not leave the field. I have stood upon the covenant of God, and the covenant of God will not yield. Every promise is a pillar I am leaning on, every faithful word a stone beneath my feet. I have trusted and I will not move until the harvest of the Lord is complete. There is a peace that moves beyond the natural, that holds the trusting heart in every storm. It is not the peace of having all the answers. It is the peace of knowing the one who formed every answer before the question surfaced, every path before the foot required a road. And I have walked this path inside that settled knowing that he who called me here still bears my load. So I will not be moved by shifting seasons, or by the sound of what the natural declares. For the God who set the stars in their positions has set my portion with the same faithful care. Financial miracle is in his keeping, and his keeping is the safest place I know. I have trusted, and that trust has its own harvest, and I will not move until I see it grow. I have trusted and I will not move. I have planted and I will not leave the field. I have stood upon the covenant of God, and the covenant of God will not yield. Every promise is a pillar I am leaning on, every faithful word a stone beneath my feet. I
is complete. Not by sight, but by the word he spoke. Not by feeling, but by covenant and grace. Not by what the natural eye can measure, but by the God who holds this time and place. I am anchored in His faithfulness. I am rooted in His covenant name. I've trusted, I will keep on trusting, for the God I trust will always be the same. I have trusted, and I will not move. I have planted, and I will not leave the field. I have stood upon the covenant of God, and the covenant of God will not yield. Every promise is a pillar I am leaning on. Every faithful word a stone beneath my feet. I have trusted, and I will not move until the harvest.
I am done with only asking. I have moved into receiving what the Lord has said He'd give me. I am taking at His word. The posture of the harvest is not pleading, it is open hands extended toward the blessing that God's covenant has assured. For faith does not just wait in silence. Faith reaches into what has been declared. And every word that God has spoken over this life, over this prayer, is not a distant future promise. It is already present, already here. And I receive by faith the overflow that God has made abundantly clear. I receive the overflow by faith. I receive the abundance that God gave. Every river that He promised, every harvest that He planned, I receive the overflow by faith. With open heart and open hand, supernatural provision is not beyond my reach today. I receive the overflow by faith. The woman with the jar of oil did not stop pouring until the vessel ceased. And the vessels only stopped because she stopped, not because the oil had decreased. And I will not stop my receiving before the vessels of my faith are full. For the God who multiplied the oil has not reduced His miracle protocol. So I will bring every empty vessel, every space that needs His filling now. And I will pour the faith of my declaration revelation into every empty corner and allow the supernatural overflow to find me in the posture of expectant open trust. For the God who fills the vessels of the willing will fill mine, because His covenant is just. I receive the overflow by faith. I receive the abundance that God gave. Every river that He promised, every harvest that He planned, I receive the overflow by faith. With open heart and open hand, supernatural provision is not beyond my reach today. I receive the overflow by faith. Open hands, open heavens, open fields of God's abundance, open doors that no man closes, open rivers, open gates. I receive, I receive, I receive everything that God has spoken. The financial miracle of faith. I receive the overflow. I receive the overflow by faith. By faith. By faith. By faith. I receive the overflow by faith. I receive the abundance that God gave. I receive the overflow by faith. With open heart and open hand, supernatural provision is not beyond my reach today. I receive the overflow by faith. When the overflow exceeds the vessel, and when the blessing cannot be contained, I will know that God was faithful to His promise, and that every day of trusting was not in vain. For the God who fills has always been a filler. He does not give a measure and withdraw. He pours until the measure overflows the measure, and keeps on pouring past what faith. I receive the overflow by faith. I receive the abundance that God gave. Every river that He promised, every harvest that He planned, I receive the overflow by faith. With open heart and open hand, supernatural provision is not beyond my reach today. I receive the overflow by faith. And when the overflow exceeds the vessel, and when the blessing cannot be contained, I will know that God was faithful to His promise, and that every day of trusting was not in vain. For the God who fills has always been a filler. He does not give a measure and withdraw. He pours until the measure overflows the measure, and keeps on pouring past what faith foresaw. I receive the overflow by faith. I receive the overflow by faith. I receive the abundance that God gave.
Every morning evidence of what He is. The sun has kept its covenant with the morning, and the morning is a declaration of His. The faithfulness of God is not a theory. It is painted on the canvas of the sky. And every day that follows on the previous is proof that the provider does not lie. He said His mercies would be new each morning, and every morning proves the word He said. The great faithfulness of God is not exhausted. It rises with the light above my head. So I will meet this morning as a declaration that the God who brought the sunrise brought my need, and the one who set the stars in their alignment has already set provision in the sea. Morning light declares His faithfulness. Every dawn confirms what trust has always known. Morning light declares His faithfulness. The God of my provision has not gone. Great is your faithfulness. Great is your faithfulness. Morning by morning, your mercies rise anew. Morning light declares His faithfulness, and the morning light declares you faithful too. The farmer trusts the morning as his partner. He does not fear the day will bring no light, for the covenant of seasons holds the sunrise, just as it holds the faithful stars of night. And I will trust the morning as my partner, as evidence that God keeps every vow. For the one who holds the morning holds my harvest, and the one who sent the dawn is sending now. Supernatural favor rides the morning. Divine provision enters with the light. And what the Lord has stored up for this season is moving through the morning into sight. So I will speak my trust into the sunrise, and I will let the morning hear my faith. For the God who made the morning made the miracle, and both arrive according to His grace. Morning light declares His faithfulness. Every dawn confirms what trust has always known. Morning light declares His faithfulness. The God of my provision has not gone. Great is your faithfulness. Great is your faithfulness. Morning by morning, your mercies rise anew. Morning light declares His faithfulness, and the morning light declares you faithful too. New day, new mercy, new morning, new declaration. The faithful God has not grown weary of providing for His own. New light, new evidence, new proof of what He promised. Every morning is a covenant that I am not alone. Great is your faithfulness. Great is your faithfulness. declares His faithfulness. Every dawn confirms what trust is always known. Morning light declares His faithfulness. The God of my provision has not gone. Great is your faithfulness, great is your faithfulness. Morning by morning, your mercies rise anew. Morning light declares His faithfulness, and the morning light declares you faithful too. So I will greet this morning as the faithful, greet every morning that the Lord has made, with trust that what the night could not deliver, the morning of His blessing has not delayed. The financial miracle is in this morning. The overflow is riding on this line. And what was moving through the underground of promise has broken through the surface into sight. Morning light declares His faithfulness. Every dawn confirms what trust is always known. Morning light declares His faithfulness. The God of my provision has not gone. Great is your faithfulness, great is your faithfulness. Morning by morning, your mercies rise anew. Morning light declares His faithfulness, and the morning light declares you faithful too. Morning light declares His faithfulness. Morning by morning, you are faithful. The gates of heaven are standing open over me, not cracked, not slightly parted, open wide. And everything that God has stored in His great treasury is moving through the opening with the tide. For He who holds the keys has turned the lock of this season, and what He opens no one has the power to close. The gates of His provision swing wide at His pleasure, and toward the ones He loves His favor flows. I will not shrink beneath an open heaven. I will not crouch when God has said to stand. For every gate that bears my name in covenant was opened by the movement of His hand. The supernatural favor of an open heaven is not a distant blessing, it is here. The gates are open and the blessing is descending, and I receive it fully without fear. Open gates of heaven over my life, every blessing flowing through the open sky. Open gates of heaven, pour your rivers down. Let the overflow of God come all around. I receive the blessing, I receive the favor, too late. The God who opened windows wide for Elijah and sent the rain upon the thirsty ground is standing at the gates of his great storehouse, and he is sending every blessing down. Divine provision does not need a narrow opening. It floods through every gate he swings apart, and the width of what the Lord pours through his open heaven is wider than the measure of my heart. So I will lift my face into the open, and I will let the blessing find its mark. For the gates of heaven opened for this season are not reserved for those who have it all mapped out. They are open for the one who keeps on trusting through every corridor of wait and doubt. The financial miracle is through the open gateway, and I am walking toward it, walking out. Open gates of heaven over my life, every blessing flowing through the open sky. Open gates of heaven, pour your rivers down. Let the overflow of God come all around. I receive the blessing, I receive the favor, I receive the miracle of open gates. Open gates of heaven over my life, pouring out abundance. It is not too late. Pour it out, pour it out. Let the storehouses of heaven open wide. Pour it out, pour it out. Let the rivers of abundance find this side. Every gate that bears my name is standing open. Every blessing marked for me is on its way. Pour it out from open gates of heaven. Let the overflow of God begin today. Open gates of heaven over my life, every blessing flowing through the open sky. Open gates of heaven, pour your rivers down. Let the overflow of God come all around. I receive the blessing, I receive the favor, I receive the miracle of open gates. Open gates of heaven over my life, pouring out abundance. It is not too late. And I will tell this to the morning light around me, that the gates of God's provision are not shut, that every blessing flowing from his open heaven is finding me exactly where I stood, in the middle of the waiting and the trusting, in the center of the covenant he keeps. The gates of heaven open over those who trust him, and what he sends through open gates goes deep. Open gates of heaven over my life, every blessing flowing through the open sky. Open gates of heaven, pour your rivers down. Let the overflow of God come all around. I receive the blessing, I receive the blessing, I receive the favor, I receive the favor, I receive the miracle of open gates. Open gates of heaven over my life, pouring out abundance. It is not too late. And I will tell this to the morning light around me, that the gates of God's provision are not shut, that every blessing flowing from his open heaven For the God who holds the clouds above the waiting harvest has promised that the rain will fall according to His plans. I have watched the sky with patient, open expectation. I have kept my face turned upward through the dry and silent days. And the God who counts the sparrows in the cedar has not missed a single moment of my gaze. Every seed requires water to accomplish what the planting and the trusting set in place. And the God who made the rain knows when to send it, and He sends it always perfectly and with grace. So I will not grow discouraged in the waiting, for the sky that carries blessing is not far. The God of all provision is the rain giver, and He knows exactly where and when and what we are. Rain upon the fields of my believing, let the overflow of heaven fill this ground. Rain upon the fields of my believing, let the blessing of the Lord come pouring down. Every seed of faith is ready, every root of trust is deep. Rain upon the fields of my believing. Lord, release the harvest that You keep. As the rain comes down and does not return to heaven until it waters every root and brings the harvest in, so the word the Lord has spoken over my provision will accomplish what it came to do and will not rescind. He has sent His word above the season of my waiting. He has spoken abundance over ground that seems like stone, and the rain of His provision will find every opening until the field of blessing I have trusted has been shown. Supernatural rain does not require my permission. Divine provision falls where God has spoken it to fall. And I am standing in the middle of His promise, with my hands held wide and open to receive it all. The financial miracle is not withheld from the waiting. It is moving through the atmosphere of faith. And the rain that God is sending Your word will not return to you empty. Your promise will not fall upon dry stone. The rain of your provision finds its purpose and waters every field you call your own. Pour out your blessing without measure. Let the rivers of abundance overflow. Rain upon the fields of your beloved, and let the harvest of your glory grow. Rain upon the fields of my believing. Let the overflow of heaven fill this ground. Rain upon the fields of my believing. Let the blessing of the Lord come pouring down. Every seed of faith is ready, every root of trust is deep. Rain upon the fields of my believing. Lord, release the harvest that you keep. And I receive the rain with open hands above me. And I receive the blessing that the Lord has set apart. For the harvest is not earned by those who gather. It is given to the ones who trust His heart. So I stand here in the middle of the turning. I do not know the hour of the harvest. I do not know the morning of the door. But I know the one who holds them both in keeping. And I have known Him long enough to know that He has never failed a single promise, that He has never lost a single name. And the trust that I began this season standing in is the trust that brings me to this place the same. There is a kind of faith that does not need the answer, to remain in peace inside the waiting place. It is not a faith that has surrendered to the silence. It is a faith that has learned to read the silence as grace. For the God who speaks in seasons and in turnings also speaks in the quiet and the still. And the stillness of this season is not absence. It is the fullness of a purpose He fulfills. Still I trust You, faithful God. Through every season that has stretched beyond my sight, still I trust You, faithful God. Your covenant has held me through the night. Every promise You have spoken is alive inside this trust. Still I trust You, faithful God. and you have always proven worthy of my trust. The seeds I planted in the early mornings of this season of believing and of wait are held within the hand of the provider, who has never yet delivered one day late. And I release the need to see the timeline, and I release the weight of knowing when, and I receive the peace of trusting fully in the God who has been faithful again and again. For supernatural favor moves at heaven's timing, and divine provision flows at heaven's pace. And what the Lord is stored inside His covenant will arrive with supernatural grace. So I will keep my hands extended and my eyes lifted, and I will keep the song of trust upon my lips. Still I trust you, that is my declaration. Through every corridor and every in-between, still I trust you, faithful God. Through every season that has stretched beyond my sight, still I trust you, faithful God. Your covenant has held me through the night. Every promise you have spoken is alive inside this trust. Still I trust you, faithful God, and you have always proven worthy of my trust. Not because the harvest is already visible, not because the door has opened to the light, but because you are the God who made the promise, and you are faithful to make every promise right. Jehovah Jireh, I have called you by your name. Through every quiet morning of this season, and the calling of your name has been enough to hold my heart in trust beyond all reason. Still I trust you, faithful God. Through every season that has stretched beyond my sight, still I trust you, faithful God. Your covenant has held me through the night. Every promise you have spoken is alive inside this trust. Still I trust you, faithful God, and you have always proven of my abundance are before me. The rivers of His blessing are in view, and the trust that
I have walked this road before, a different version. I have stood before a need that felt too wide, and the God who met me in that previous season has never lost the record of that time. He provided then when all the doors were narrow. He provided then when nothing seemed in place. And the God who provided in the former season has not reduced His willingness or grace. He is the same God who met Abraham's altar, the same God who filled the widow's jar, the same God who fed His people in the desert is the same God, and He has not gone far. So I will take the memory of His former faithfulness and hold it like a lantern in this night. For the God who provided in the seasons that are behind me is the God who will provide in the morning light. The God who provided will provide again. He has not changed between the then and now. The God who provided will provide again. The same covenant, the same faithful vow. Every time He came through in the former seasons is proof He will come through in this one too. The God who provided will provide again, and I will trust Him all the way through. The ancient paths are not worn out from walking. They bear the weight of every generation's need. And the God who walked those paths with those who trusted is walking the same path of grace with me. His track record is the foundation of my confidence. Not arrogance, but evidence reviewed. For every time the God of covenant has promised, He has followed every promise with the proof. So I will rehearse the story of His faithfulness, not as a history lesson, but a living word. For the God of every miracle remembered is the God of every miracle deferred. And what He has deferred is only waiting for the moment that His wisdom has designed. The God who provided then is still providing, and the miracle is only a matter of time.
changed between the then and now. The God who provided will provide again. The same covenant, the same faithful vow. Every time He came through in the former seasons is proof He will come through in this one too. The God who provided will provide again, and I will trust Him all the way through. Remember the manna in the morning, remember the ram upon the hill, remember the oil that kept on flowing. Remember, and let the remembrance fill every space where doubt has tried to enter, every corner where the weight has grown long. The God who provided in the story of the ages is the God who carries me along. The God who provided will provide again. He has not changed between the then and now. The God who provided will provide again. The same covenant, the same faithful vow. Every time He came through in the former seasons is proof He will come through in this one too. The God who provided will provide again, and I will trust Him all the way through. And when the season joins the archive of His faithfulness, and when I look back from the other side, I will say He was the God who always provided, the same provider, faithful and wide. The financial miracle will have a story